on.
So I think we'll be live. How did I lose your audio? Because I can hear me and I see me on there, but I just lost you. Okay, it's you.
I was auto-muted. That's a new treat. Oh, I bet you I know what happened. I was getting ready to export, and I pushed Control-M to bring up the export tabs.
Ah, yes.
That's what happened, so I muted it.
That would definitely do it. John said, probably won't make it tomorrow, so I'm just going to jump on here and say first before Jarrod does. That's awesome.
Well done. Well done. Or if he catches the replay. If you catch the replay, well done.
Yes, for sure. Oh, yep. Okay, that's what
are.
I was doing. I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think, what am I supposed to be doing during this pre-show thing? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to share it out on the socials and let people know that we are live.
I guess we could do that.
Doing stuff.
I guess we could do that. Let's see. Insta? Let's go over there to Insta.
And over on the YouTubes.
Jesse in the background. Ho! And then we got this guy.
We have a better face.
Oh, you want a better face? There's your better face. Mess, Jesse.
I was going like this.
Well, we can't delete that one because Joshua's face was perfect.
Oh, I can reenact my face.
It's almost like I use your name so much. It's just, it pulls up first every time.
I'm
did you
the
put
same
Joshua
way.
Verwers? Huh?
I'm the same way. As soon as I do that all of a sudden it's like, oh, you want Jarrod. Click. I need a new story. Wait, I've got a little Jarrod on top of my face.
What are you? Are you preacher's wife in this thing? What are you? Jesse?
Vlogpastors going live in about 20 seconds. There's that guy. You should come check us out. I don't know if that's even there.
Welcome to the Vlogpastors Podcast, a podcast all about the stories and strategies of sharing God's love in the digital world. Now, here are two pastors that love to put a camera in their face and walk around in public. They are the Smith & Wesson of digital ministry, Jarrod Brown and Joshua Verwers.
Hey everybody, welcome to Vlogpastors, whatever we decide we're ever going to call this thing. It's supposed to be a podcast, but it never turns out to be a podcast because I just don't like uploading it.
Oh, come on. What episode are we on? Do we know what episode we're on?
This is episode 49. I do know that. We are almost to 50.
50.
Almost to 50.
We got Trey Moore, and then we're going to be doing, what? We should do a year celebration. A celebration!
A celebratory 50th.
We should do that.
What? Is that my music in the background playing?
I
It
hope
is my
so.
music. I'm sitting here and I'm like, I hear something in the background. Oh, it was mine.
Turn that off.
That's what I get for having a horrible setup on this thing and not even knowing what is going on. So, hey, welcome everybody. Glad you're here. Glad you can join us. We have no idea, per usual, what we are doing and what we are talking about.
But
so
we are
if y'all,
here.
We are here.
And we're ready.
And you guys are here. And if you have any thoughts, ideas, topics that you would like us to discuss, well, send them our way. Otherwise, I'll just sit here and...
That's terrible. Hopefully
Just
Dustin
so
isn't on.
everybody
Dustin, look
knows.
away.
He's not on yet, but will be. Okay, so yes, John was here last night, but not here now. He says probably won't make it. Tomorrow, just going to jump on here and say first before Jarrod does. And Jarrod said, you got me.
You got
Dean Lentini, perfect timing. No better way to fold a huge pile of laundry than hanging out with you guys. Yes, I think actually Genevieve might be doing the same thing because when I left her, she was off in the laundry room. So, hello, boys, she says.
Laundry.
Vaughn says, hello, guys. And
what's up, Vaughn? Getting ready for the giveaway.
Ignited Valortricity says, always love your calm. Keep up the amazing work.
Sweet.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Jarrod and I were just talking before we went live. I was watching a video yesterday from Vlog with King. I think it's King Chan is his name. And he's got a YouTube channel, does some vlogging, obviously, and does a lot of like breakdown videos. So I think the first time I actually caught him, it might have been a how to vlog like Casey Neistat video. And this isn't like the Sarah Dietschy one where she did, you know, that how to vlog like Casey, and it was a parody.
Kind of mocking him. Yeah.
Which was hilarious and very accurate, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But King wound up doing this where he kind of broke down Casey's style and gave some practical, you know, tips and stuff on it. So that was like the first time that I had caught his stuff. And then we connected on Instagram. And then he was doing this challenge where it was like Instagram stories. And this is before I think either one of us realized that Jesse Driftwood was doing stuff like that. So that's how I started doing vlogging through Instagram stories. And then during that process, that's where I come across the one and only Bite of Brownie. Because I was just looking around and it was like, I wonder if there are any other vloggers on Instagram, and Christian vloggers, by the way. And then I found actually Jessica. So, and then found you through her.
So funny. I wonder how many of us popped up in that era, that Casey Neistat era of coming home every day, watching some of the videos and going, wait a minute.
I could do this.
We could do this.
And then realizing after your first few videos, wait a minute.
Do this. It's so much harder than I thought.
He makes it look so easy.
Well, even in what you were talking about, because you were explaining that whole process to me, the storytelling process, at least from his perspective. And I don't know that I could do that just because my days are so varied. I've thought to myself, okay, today I'm going to X. And I can start a video out by saying that I'm going to try and do X. Yeah. There's a small percentage, I would say, that my day ever works out that way. And it sounded like yours is the opposite. You kind of can guarantee that one thing like that is going to happen.
No.
Okay.
So mine is very similar to yours. I think it's part of pastoral ministry, that we're like, firefighters running around a bunch of pyromaniacs.
Yep.
You know, we're always trying to put out these fires. So the day just is like, I've just gotten to the point where I don't tell anybody what my schedule is.
Yep.
Because I don't know. They're like, what are you doing tomorrow? I don't know. It's like, I really have no idea. Yesterday, Jen asked me, what are we doing tomorrow? I'm like, I don't know. I know I'm supposed to like hop on here with Jarrod about 10:30. Apart from that, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. So that's what it typically is. But I'm able to find one thing that I want to accomplish every single day that I can at least start to work on. I may not get it finished, but I'll at least start to endeavor on it. So this book that he was recommending is Storyworthy is what it's called. I don't know. I had a bunch of Audible credits, so I added it. Let's see if I can even figure out what it is so you guys kind of have some concept of what I'm even talking about.
Did he write it? Is that what you were saying? Or
no, he did not write it. This is one that he listened to and loved it.
That's great content, by the way. If you happen to be reading a book and the story catches you, like I was reading Insanity of God a while back, like a year or so back. And that it made a vlog. What do we got? Storyworthy with a little bubble right there.
Yes, and it's by Matthew Dix.
That's another thing right there. You're reading a book. It pops into your head, pops into your heart, and you have thoughts on it. And that's immediate content right there. You can just kind of share your thoughts as you're going along throughout your day. But as what you were saying, though, it's harder when you're putting out 500 different fires. I don't know that I could say, for instance, like what's popping into my head is my dad has a trailer over at my place. We've been working on it, that sort of thing. Should have been filming the whole deal.
Mhm.
It never dawns on me because I never knew that that would be a story. But now I want to take my trailer that we've been working on back to my dad's, and I have no footage, no visual aids to back up that story,
Yeah,
nor do I even think that that's going to be a possibility of actually getting that done today.
right.
I'm hopeful. That's what I would like to do.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. There's
Well,
so many fires between now and then. Who knows?
right. And part of this is coming upon like me reading. I haven't read it. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to listen to it because I don't like reading. But I'm going to listen to this book, and part of that comes at like a perfect timing. Vaughn actually mentioned. I want to say it was. I think it was Monday. Trey Van Camp with the value with video vlog your ministry.
I missed that.
Yeah.
How do you catch that on replay? Or is it just gone forever?
I don't know. He said he was going to try to get it on replay, but he was having an issue with the hosting and whatnot because he used to do it through Dropbox, but it was getting too expensive to do it.
Okay.
And I forgot to follow up with him afterwards because I was mouthing the words YouTube, and then you just make it, private or unlisted.
Oh, yeah.
Because
That's brilliant.
it's free storage.
It's free.
I mean, that's what I do with my Buy Me a Coffee stuff. When I've got a video that is just for the Buy Me a Coffee members, well, I either make it unlisted. If I don't care if somebody happens to find the link, then I'll just do unlisted. If I want to make sure it's locked down so nobody gets it, I'll do private and then just share it via email addresses. So you could do that. But Vaughn had made this mention about he would like to see kind of, I think he used the term, an anatomy of a vlog. And what is that anatomy of a vlog? Which, as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, and I jumped over onto my Trello board, and I've actually got on my Trello board an upcoming vlog that I wanted to do was the my vlog format or my vlog structure. And how do I do that? But I keep pushing it aside because it's been hard for me to figure out how I do what I do. It's like, especially like you had mentioned that wrestling vlog that I did and how there was a really good story
Loved
to it.
it. I love that one. Top 3 for sure.
Right. And you had asked me, and it was like, I didn't go in planning a story. There was no plan. I was just let's just document the journey. But then when Vlog with King mentioned this book, Vaughn, it is Story Worthy by Matthew Dix. And that, the way he described this is that he's essentially saying you have the end in mind when you get ready to start telling the story. And he's doing this not from necessarily a vlog perspective, and I haven't listened to the book yet, so I may be just kind of taking things completely out of context, but what I heard and what works for me is having like an end in mind. It doesn't have to necessarily be the final end, but an end. And so starting with that, and then the opposite of the end is the beginning. So for the wrestling video, it was the end. This is the goal. I'm going to wrestle. That's the end of it. So for a vlog, all I needed to do was show me wrestling. That's the final scene. That's the climax. It's the end of the story. No big deal. So what is the beginning? Well, the beginning would be the opposite of me wrestling, and I'm not even ready to wrestle. So I didn't even know where my gear was. And then let's go on the hunt trying to find the gear. And I left out so much that I could have added to it that would have made it a better story visually. But, it's just like, I don't know. So that was kind of where when I saw or heard that, it was like, this is essentially how I've been doing it lately. And it's just that documenting process. But like that whole process for that video, I thought it was going to be a 2-day vlog. It turned into like a 4-day vlog because there were some subplots that rose up and I needed to wrap those back up as well. Like with my brother showing up and we saw him, but we didn't really hear much from him. And then at the show, I'm trying to give my recap and he's now injured. So it felt like that was just a cliffhanger that was left out there, and I needed to add a little bit of something into it. So I just pressed record again. So that's where it kind of evolved from even what I had in mind.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just rolled with it. But it was easier for me then in the editing of sitting there and looking at the edit. And it's like, okay, this is what we're trying to accomplish. So where's the opposite at it? Where's the beginning end?
I find it, just to kind of counterpoint that, I find that when I start with an open statement, which is what I did yesterday. So yesterday, I mentioned it to you, but I'll mention it to these guys. Yesterday, I wanted to do something smaller, like a project that doesn't take 4 weeks, or it's not a part of a series that's going on. I just wanted to do a quick smash out a vlog. And I thought, okay, well, we need a point. So the point of this vlog is I'm going such and such a place, I'm doing such and such a thing, and here's the idea. You know, that's the story. I'm going to do that, but here's what the point that I want to communicate in it. So I started with the point. Here's the point. If you just clicked on the video, I say it to them. And then I spent the rest of the day trying to make that happen, honestly. I went and I did the filming, like the documenting part of it was fine, but I couldn't figure out exactly how to say, how to get it in, you know, different things visually. And I did not like the process. I think I would rather, when I say I'm going up on top of that hill, because I think of storytelling in a hill story arc. I think I've made that
Jack
video.
and Jill went up the hill to catch a pail of water.
Yes. So point is, we're starting somewhere. The story's going to tell itself, but we're going to end up on the summit, and then we're going to quickly wrap up how that whole process worked. Mm-hmm. Show the conflict in the midst of it. But like, if I start that saying that, sometimes I don't make it up to the top of the hill. I get stuck in the middle, and I think that needs to be okay.
Yes.
You know, it is what it is. But as far as a viewer, like I ended up with, and I'm editing, I ended up with this video that doesn't make a whole lot. There's no resolution to it. I'm gonna have to sit down in the studio and say the end. I don't like that.
No, see, I think that can be fun as well. Like, okay, let's just admit that we all hate cliffhangers, but yet we love cliffhangers. It's like, I hate when it feels like a movie ends, but I know there's going to be a sequel. I know there's more to this story. I know something else is coming.
But
it's aggravating, but I love it.
Do you ever start down a path and go, this is the video that I'm making? And you begin with the end in mind. And then all of a sudden you realize that video is not getting made. The scenarios that develop, the situation that you find yourself in, even in the way that you're handling certain things, it's not making the video. Yeah. Or are you like dead set, we are going to end up with this video?
No, I've had several of those where it has turned out that way. Like the first one that comes to mind was us with the Vegas trip. And I think you and I had even discussed when we first got there, it was like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, and I had thought the whole thing was, for that first day was, I'm going to Vegas. And that was like all I had in mind. But beyond that, no clue. Didn't know where it was going to be. And like the final day when we wind up going to the church service and how we brought in, like, at least in mind, that spiritual component of it, I had nothing. Like, I had no clue what I was doing on that day. I thought it was going to be all about just, leaving. And that was going to be it. But it turned out to be much more than that. And that was just through the day. I'm listening to Sean's message and I was like, ooh, this is good. We can take a detour and go down this route instead. Mm-hmm. So I just then started capturing, and I didn't quite have enough for the length of a vlog that I would wanted, but I just made it work. And I know there have been other times that I've done something similar where I set out to do something and for one reason or another, it just all falls apart and I'm not going to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. And in those moments, what I'll often do is cut away from it and come back to like an office setting where I can kind of give a recap and a context. And to me, that's almost like Princess Bride moment where you get the narrator jumping into the middle of the movie just to set up the scene and the context for us. And I think that there can be some real brilliance to that. And it's actually a little bit nicer. I mean, to me, it's very similar to what we read in the Gospels. I mean, you read to the Gospels, you get the conversations between Jesus and the people, but then the authors of those are narrating it. And so they're adding in stuff in between conversations to kind of fill in that story. So that's where I think, yes, we could do that, in like the scenario that, like you're talking about with this project that you're doing. Is it going to be resolved? No, but you still could have just started recording stuff. And I planned on hey, we're going to try to get this done today. Guess what? It didn't get done today.
Mm-hmm. And
you could end it right there, because then it sets up the next one if you're willing to then record after. And I think, I binge watch a ton of Casey.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw one, it might have been last night or the night before, where mail time, all those packages were building up, and you kept seeing them throughout these videos. And he's like, I have to get to this. This is getting out of control. I have to get to it. And then it was like, I'm not going to be able to get to it, but I need to get something. I'll go ahead and just open a few. And then he opens a few, but you realize he didn't even make a dent on this pile. And 2 videos later, then he can come back to it. So that's where I think we can be a little bit easier on ourselves and focus on the documentation process of vlogging, and aim for having a nice bow on each story, but realize I may not be able to tie this bow all the way. And that's okay if we come back to it in a later video. And then we can tie it up.
Real quick question for you along those terms, because they're basically Casey and Van. What?
Mm-hmm. Genevieve says, Josh, are you also talking to yourself? Yes, I'm talking out loud and thinking out loud right now. Casey and Van.
Casey and Van, brothers. Van is now having his rise. Casey had his time. Van is now having his time. Yep. I kind of think, 1, because of the fame of Casey, 2, because of Casey not being around. But I wonder, they're doing the same thing. And I just, maybe you guys have seen it before, but I just figured this out. The last video that I watched of Casey's. Van, he does his narration after the fact. So he films, or before, whatever. He writes out his script. There's a point that he wants to communicate. There's a story that he wants to tell about a truck, about an experience, whatever it is. Pick object, pick thing. And he writes out his script, and he narrates the thing, and he shoots all of the shots. Casey does the same thing, but he's doing it in real time. Well, he's changing camera angles, and he picks up where he left off, but it's the same deal. He's telling a one-shot cohesive story about a thing or experience or a trip or whatever. And I was going to ask you, which do you think is better, is more, your style, or true to vlogging?
I don't think there's such a thing as a better in this situation.
I think totally different styles. It's weird. Oh, but it's the same. 2 totally different voices. What do we got right there?
We got a floating coffee hand. And Jared's fighting. Saying it.
Hey, nothing coming out of my mouth. Putting it down. Listen, team. What are we at? Week 1? Week 1, baby.
Yeah, we're back to week 1. Yeah.
Week 1, day 1. We got this.
So they're 2 totally different styles. I would say they're both vlogs. They're 2 different styles. I don't think it's a case of one being better than the other. They're different. They're both good in their own right. And I think the main reason that they're both good is because it's both a story. And they are focused on the story. I think that's where those of us, not only as vloggers, as pastors, as Christians in general, we do need to work on storytelling a little bit more. And I think oftentimes we overcomplicate it.
You don't think, quick question, you don't think there's particularly in voice, Casey he gave the illusion of you were going about a day with him. Van does not. Right. I don't think it's any worse. Van is he's purposely describing or showing you something, which is fine, but I don't get the sense that that's a part of his normal day. He's produced something for you.
Yeah.
In whatever format, in their format, their style.
No, I don't think that, again, I don't think there's one that's better or one that's worse.
You don't like one more?
No.
You like them both equally the same.
I
Just
would
like all of your children.
I would like Casey's style a little bit more.
Okay.
Just because Casey's style seems a little bit more raw and unpolished.
Okay.
Even though I know that's not the case. Like trying to do his style, that's not, there is so much polish on there.
Yeah.
And the more I learn, the more I realize how much work he's putting into there. Like when I first heard him saying that he was putting in, 4 or 5 hours a night on those edits, I'm like, really? And now it's like, he's got to be putting like 8 to 10 hours on those, or he's just that good.
Yeah.
But then, you watch enough of them and you see that he missed this or he missed that. And how many times in the beginning was he missing his counter, or the days would get wrong. And it was just little things like that he just didn't care. It was about the story is the big thing that matters. Let's get the story together and then let's upload from there. And the more you do it, the better you get at it, the more fluid it is. I would say I tend to lean towards that style a little bit more, just because it feels more like me. Like I could see myself doing that. The stuff that Van does, I've tried to kind of do stuff like that where it is more written out and scripted.
Does it feel stiff?
It does. And it feels like I'm walking in somebody else's shoes. So it feels like I'm just not equipped to do that. It's like when I've done other preaching styles, and it's like I look at other preachers and how do they format their sermons? How do they outline it? Maybe I can find something that works a little better for me. And all of a sudden I go down that traditional 3-point sermon and it's like, I don't like this.
That's not me. Yeah,
it's like, I don't like it. And then it's like everybody's ranting and raving about the Andy Stanley method. And it's like, do it for a while and it's like, oh, this is easier, but it's still not me. Mm-hmm. And it's like, and then even stuff that I do come up with on my own, it's just, there's so many different influences. It just doesn't feel comfortable. So that's where I try to break some of this stuff down and knock off the polish and the veneer of what they're doing and look at the structure, look at the format. And, this comes back to the simple storytelling thing of beginning, middle, end. Like I'm not even concerned now with the story arc or the hero's journey or this epic climax. No, beginning, and I don't even care about the middle, end. It's like, what is the end? Where is the beginning? And I'll let the middle just fall in place. I'm just going to record stuff and we'll see what happens. And that's easier for me, especially when it's more of a documentation type of a vlog where it's like, we're just going to go do this and see what happens. So, does that answer anything?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just a conversation, isn't it? Amongst friends. I find that it's interesting to me that it does feel a little bit more stiff. Van's stuff does feel a little bit more, I wouldn't even call it, it's not polished. It's not polished. His has a raw feel, but not a Casey feel. Casey's is super raw. It's just, for instance, Yes Theory.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen any of their stuff. Yes Theory.
Lots of their stuff.
Has a very light, high-paced kind of a deal, kind of a vibe to it. It's recorded. The audio is separate. It's not like in the moment kind of a deal.
Right.
They've edited it. They've pre-selected what they want, and they're doing their narrative over the top of it. And it's like, oh, but it doesn't feel stiff at all. It feels a lot looser than Van's does. But still,
correct.
I mean, it's not like it's bad. Like I said, he's still communicating.
So
you don't get the impression he's a bad dude.
Van's style, if I were to find somebody else that's doing something similar to Van, it would be Dan Mace. Mm-hmm. Like, Dan Mace's stuff is very, like, Dan Mace's, if you could take Casey and Van and blend them together, you have Dan Mace. Mm-hmm. That's who you've got, which I think is why watching Van's stuff felt so comfortable to me, because I watch Casey's, I see the influence of Casey and Dan, and then here's Van, and it's like, oh yeah, I can see how that all kind of fits. But I would say that Van is very similar to Dan in the fact that it is more rigid. It's more structured. And it's because of it being highly scripted. Whereas Casey's is not scripted at all. And you can see that. Like, that's the thing that I think for me and for pastors, I think Casey's style is so much easier for any pastors who want to create a vlog and just showing their life, their faith, what they're going through. If that's what they're wanting, I think Casey's style lends more towards pastors because of what we've talked about, the ever-changing world. And it just...
All right, let's pin it right there. So I think Dan's is very, at least from my mindset, that's very achievable. We kind of figured that out. We can write out scripts. We're pastors. We know how that works. What do you mean by that? The vlog style of Casey lends itself better to pastors.
It lends itself better to pastors trying to show who they are and what they're doing rather than what they know. If there's a pastor that wants to vlog and just wants to share their knowledge, you should be going more of a Van or a Dan or any of the other educational type videos. And it's less of the documentation style stuff because you're trying to give away knowledge. And because of that, and really focusing on the knowledge first rather than the person first, because you're doing that, you need to have that structured. You need to have it scripted out because you're really trying to hit this point home. Mm-hmm. Casey's style is more about, hey, let's just come. Let's do life together. Watch what I'm doing. I'm going to make this business, and then I'm going to sell it off, and I'm going to travel around and share some of the stuff that I know, but I'm not really sharing what I know to you guys unless you ask me about it. I'm just going to share my life with you. And that type of a style for a pastor that's wanting to come across and share in a... I'm walking on eggshells with this because I don't want people to hear me saying that this is the right way.
I'll drive it home.
Okay.
It's the right way. Go ahead.
This is not me trying to say it's the right way or the only way.
It is the right way. It's the only way.
Here's my way. I want to come more from an approach of the Apostle Paul saying, follow me as I follow Christ. I only want to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of people. And so here's kind of what I'm going through and what I'm doing. And that's going to just be random stuff because life is random and it can be messy and it can be chaotic and it's unorganized. And yeah, that's just me. So anybody that relates to that and feels like they're kind of on a similar path, here's what we do. And that can be in life, that can be in marriage, that can be in faith, that can be in YouTube.
Yeah.
That's kind of the model and the step that I want to go down. And it's really kind of the model that I saw Casey going down. Even though he was this filmmaker and had a lot of prestige coming into this, he was still figuring out the whole YouTube thing himself. And let's just see what happens. There are other people that they've been doing daily vlogs. Sounds like a fun idea. Let's try it. And then he's figuring it out. So because you watched him through that process, you started to relate to him as a person and who he is rather than what he's giving you or what he knows. That's where I think from a pastoral standpoint of somebody, or even just a Christian standpoint, of somebody that wants to share their life and here's my journey, take it, leave it, but this is what I'm doing. I think Casey's style is more effective in that manner because it is kind of raw and unpolished and it's just, we're just recording as we go. If that makes sense.
I'm in on that.
Okay. How about I get to a couple of comments?
I think you should. While you're getting to it, I'll say I've read. So Diana made a podcast the other day. Got to throw Diana under the bus every episode at least. Yeah. And she was talking, her and a couple others, talking about how simple it is. You know, that's the new tagline right now. Simple ideas, simple hacks, whatever, to produce content regularly. And I think to people like you and Diana, I think these things do come naturally. I think it is a part of telling your story. I think y'all have experience tapping into that stream and getting some sort of feedback from it. Like, okay, this is where, you know, the flow is. And I don't know that that's the story for everybody. I know it's not my story, and I feel like I'm telling that story, you know, for the rest of the noners out there who don't have it come to them easily, who have to think through stuff and figure out like, okay, where the mess is this video going? Because it makes absolutely no sense. Or, the last 150 videos didn't quite resonate the way that it resonated. I watched a video this morning. This is totally off topic. Apparently, I'm making videos for me, man, because I was looking for a clip that I reference in the vlog today that I'm gonna release today or tomorrow. And I'm looking for a clip, and it's like 2 years ago. So I'm doing the Casey thing. I'm going back through trying to find out where it is, and I've forgotten. And so I watched all of a vlog called "Thank You All," and I'm at 300 subscribers or something like that, and I'm thanking the audience. And it's like 2 minutes, and I watched that thing, and I'm like, that's the best dadgum YouTube video I've ever seen in my life. Not really,
Right.
but from me. It's
Yeah.
like, that's really good stuff. So apparently we're making it for us. But if you're out there, if anybody finds yourself like me and you see all these guys saying, "Oh, it's simple. You simply, Jack and Jill, climb up the hill to fetch a pail of water," and you're like, "Nah, not in my life." I'm making your videos, man. Just keep making those videos. I think people
Right.
like Maddie Hapoya, people like you and me. I mean, you're more of a Casey style, but people like Maddie Hapoya, as they show the struggles and the day-to-day life type thing, I think there is an audience. What is that sound?
It's the printer that's in the
Can you hear that?
Just barely, but it's not as loud as you think it is.
Oh man, like the whole place is taken off. I thought my
Yeah.
computer was melting down.
That's where we say thank you, Shure SM7B. So
Wow. Anyway, you get the gist.
yeah, no, I would preachers, right?
Yep.
Preachers. The first year of preaching versus preaching now. Like if I was told, "Hey Josh, you have to preach a sermon in an hour." No problem. And if they say, "Hey, you need to preach a sermon on this in an hour." All right, I think I can still swing it. But if you had asked me that 10 years ago, find somebody else. There's no way. It's going to take me way too long to try to wrap my head. So that's where I think the repetition, and I had mentioned this last week. I think, was it you and I, where I think I might have said this. I don't know. I was talking to somebody and I wrote it down, that consistency spurs creativity. And that was the thing for me looking back. And here's where being a vlogger and a pastor really helps, because I can look back and forth. Like when I'm struggling with vlogging, look at the stuff that I'm doing in pastoring. So, okay, it can be difficult to come up with a vlog all the time. But yet here I've been preaching for 14 years, and I come up with a new sermon every week. It's like, what's the problem here? Well, the problem is I'm thinking about it way too much with vlogging, whereas with preaching, it's like part of that is the main part. Okay, God, what do you want to say? And if I don't hear loud booming voice from heaven saying, "Josh, thus saith the Lord, you shall preach on this weekend." If I don't hear that, then what do? All right, what has God already been talking to me about? Let's just preach on that. Because if he said it to me, if it's good for me, it's good for anybody else. So then we'll just go with it. So then that's kind of where I'm leaning back in towards the vlog style. And you guys will see that being reflected on this channel in the coming weeks and months. Lots of vlog content coming out, because it's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? So like before we went on, I told you this, I'm going to destroy this whole room.
I can't
Like
wait.
it's getting destroyed. And I was talking to Diana last night on, hey, Diana just popped in and said howdy. But I was talking to her last night based on one of her Instagram stories she did talking about the 10 to 18. I was like, I think I might just do one of these streams with the 10 to 18 millimeter just for fun.
Yeah.
Just to show people the width of it, and it's going to give a different perspective. Why? Because I can. And then as I'm talking to Genevieve, I was like, you know what? I want to do one of these live streams with Jarrod where I'm not sitting in this chair. I want to sit in one of those chairs, but I want to move it over here and give a completely different look. And just, I'm not even going to use the lights. I'm just going to open the windows up and I'll sit back. I'll kick my feet up on the desk. I'll have a microphone in my face, and I'll just not worry about it.
Just chat.
Why? Because I can. And so with part of just destroying this and ripping it apart, and I'm just going to record it. And it would be nice if this was all in one video. Like if I could get everything accomplished in one day. And that's where I get stuck, because I often sit there and think, okay, how am I going to get all of this done today?
Yeah.
And record a video about it and then try to edit and upload it.
Yep.
What if I don't?
Yep.
Is it the end of the world if I don't actually complete it?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. That was in my mind. No.
Yes. But no, it's like we think it is the end of the world. But if we're being honest with ourselves, some of our favorite TV shows, they constantly have cliffhangers. Every single episode, it's leaving you wanting more, and you're going to come back. Now, some part of it they're able to tie up nicely, but there's a bigger portion that has to roll over into next week.
Yep.
All right, so it rolls over into next week. At least I know the end is coming. And to see kind of that progress, that's where it can be helpful. So that's kind of the approach.
Plus, people like me, I'm going to be so thrilled to watch you tear apart that office, because it means that I'm about to learn a bunch of stuff and I'm about to spend a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that means. You're going to learn so much in that process. Because, I mean, getting all of these cords and this off the ground,
back on the wall, on the ceiling, wherever, just out of my feet. Yeah.
That would be great.
Well, and I've already spent a bunch of money, and I don't even know if any of this is going to work. Like, I don't know. And that, to me, that's the vlog I want to watch. Yeah. I want to watch somebody try it, and if they succeed,
and
great.
They don't know.
And if they fail, that's even better. It's like, and if they waste their money doing something, that means I don't have to waste my money doing something. So is there gear and is there equipment that I've bought and that I kind of regret it? Yes. Like I saw on Facebook this morning, and I hope if Joshua, Pastor Joshua, if he's watching this, he doesn't get upset at me saying this, but he had posted about how he went out and bought the 16 millimeter Sigma lens.
Yeah.
Great job.
Solid.
Excellent. And then he bought the Switch Pod, and I'm like, I would have went with the Mantis Pod instead. But I saw he's going to be using it next week. Okay, you need a Switch Pod then. Because the Mantis Pod, it's like I ordered it, but it's not going to be here for another 2-3 weeks. So because he needed it right away, it wasn't there. And then I saw he's been using the Gorilla Pod, and I'm like, oh yeah, throw that thing in the trash. Like, get rid of it.
Oh man.
You know, so that's where sometimes I see other people doing things, and it's like, you might not want to do that, but maybe. Depending on the scenario. And that's where just recording stuff and documenting it is great. Like, I've got so much that is up in here. And I think you could relate to this. There's so many things that I could record videos about.
Oh yeah.
I could talk about. But where do I start?
Yeah.
And then there's the paralysis that creeps in because we're just not making anything. Well, what if I've got a simple thing that I just want to create? Like a simple video, like, okay, the one that I did the other day, that has taken me forever to do that upbeat video. And it's like, why is that taking me forever? Part of it is because it was more of a set down review type stuff. And it was like the house, we had air conditioning units, and it was going to be a little bit brutal. And like, you can already start to see, even in here with the AC, I'm getting some sweat because these lights, and it's like, I hate it. So with things like that, it kept postponing it. But even more than that, it was the style that I did that video in. Good video, by the way. I think it was a good video. But
sorry, you sounded like Trump for about 2 seconds.
Good video, by the way. Yeah, I thought it was an excellent video. Yeah,
you're gonna love it.
But I thought it was good, but it also didn't quite feel like me. Like it would have been better if I had done that vlog style. So again, one of the other things I'm talking to Diana about last night is I'm scrapping every other format of pre-recorded videos that I have ever done.
You're pulling them off
forward.
The channel?
No, just going forward. I'm scrapping them all. Everything is a vlog. If I want to talk about tech, it's going to be in a vlog. If I want to talk about a new book that I'm reading, it's going to be in a vlog. If I want to talk about something that God is dealing with me with, it's going to be in a vlog. If I'm going to talk about something we're doing as a family, in a vlog.
You're going for it.
Everything is going to be a vlog.
I dig that.
Vlog.
Question.
Answer.
What was that shirt that guy had the other day? False. It's got the outline of Dwight's head
Okay.
on it. Okay, question.
Ask your question. I'm going to write it down, and then...
Shut up. Just answer the question. You're an intelligent man. You can handle multi-part questions. So here we go. That video that you made the other day, is that part of like a proof of concept or a pitch video to prospective sponsors in the future? Or did they sponsor you, or did you just simply like it? Did you like it so much that you wanted everybody to know about it? Or all of the above?
Okay, because that one's off topic. I was going to write it down so I could come back to it after getting to some questions, but or some comments, but I'll actually answer that one. That one, I heard about Upbeat. I downloaded their free version. I went through, I found some songs that I liked. I was listening to it on my phone. I enjoyed it. I made a few videos using it. Then I reached out to them and it was like, hey, would you be at all interested in sponsoring a video and having me kind of put it out there? And they got back with me and they said, sure, here's all of our stuff. Here's what we would offer and go with it.
That's
so
awesome.
I was going to make the video anyways. And like and here's the thing. They sponsored it, but the contract that I signed, I actually made the video outside of the contract date, so they don't have to follow up on their end at all. And I don't care. Like, yeah. I sent them a message and said, hey, I'm dropping this video anyways. I know that I'm late. I had some stuff going on. That's not your fault. If you guys don't want to follow through on your end of the contract, no hard feelings. I'm still putting this video out because I still believe it's good. And so that's what I did. And it was just like, okay, no worries. So
Dude, it was very well done. It was very well done. It looked like something that you could show to other prospective sponsors to say, here's a quality video. And then it'd be nice to get some feedback from them, I assume, to find out what your conversion rates were. Yeah.
And that would be something I definitely want to check into. I'm going to let it see. Some of the videos like that, they've got a weird shelf life on my channel where instantly I do any type of a tech related stuff or a tutorial and it's like, it just does not perform out the gate. And then all of a sudden it'll start to pick up steam and then go out
6 months later, here she goes. Yeah.
So that's where it was like, I'm just going to do what I do and I'm not going to worry about the back end. And mostly because I do think that Upbeat, this section is not sponsored. I do believe Upbeat is a really good service. I like what they're trying to do. I like when people and businesses think outside the box. How can we do this better? And so they were like, how can we get quality audio to creators without charging a huge price and yet still paying the artists that make it? Now that's a lot of moving parts, and they're like, all of these other business models use freemium, so there's a free version and there's a paid version. What if we try that? So that way it becomes ad sponsored. So, because we know, as Christians, we know this. Nothing is free. Like, even your salvation isn't free. It's free for you, but it costs Jesus everything. So somebody has to pay for everything. So even this service is on our audio, somebody's got to pay for it. Yeah, YouTube has a free music library. Well, guess what? YouTube's paying for that. Mm-hmm. Somebody had to pay for it. And even when they say, well, this guy just gave it all away for free. Sure, but it cost him his time and his energy. Yeah. Somebody had to pay for that. You're just not compensating him for it. So that's where I like that approach that they had. It was kind of unique. But yeah, I think that could be a proof of concept to kind of show other people some of that. And I've got a few other videos that I've done. But even those, I don't want to show to any future prospective sponsors, anything like that. Because it's not vlog.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it was a great one. I think it was a great example to show, and anybody watching this, to show ministry folks how to make money online, how this whole thing has worked out, because you stop driving bus, and things still cost. Somebody's got to pay for it. Somebody's got to pay for your time sooner or later, or you're giving out of yourself on this platform, and that's a way to make some money. It was well done, dude. Moral of the story, well done. I enjoyed that. I think there's a lot to learn from that. I saw that and I was like taking notes. That was really good.
Yeah, it was fun. Okay, so want to get to some of these comments that we had up here. Vaughn was saying, I've been looking for some more books or articles on how to be a better storyteller. Vaughn, let me give you just a few of them that I had in the Audible. That these are ones that I've listened to and I enjoyed, or that have been recommended and I haven't listened to yet. One is called Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. And by the way, I'll leave a comment down after this with all of these that I'm recommending. Let's see. Next one. Where is it? Where is that? I know I've got it.
I'm looking. Building a Story brand's pretty good. Donald Miller. Not necessarily video specific.
And I just passed that. Building a Story brand. Wired for Story, Lisa Cron. The Storytelling Animal, Jonathan Gottskall. And there was another one in here that I can't find. Oh, that's because I didn't have it in here. It is... I used that one with the free public library rental, but it was... what was that? I want to say it was like Made to Stick or something like that. Yes. Made to Stick. Why Some Ideas Survive, Others Die. It's by Chip and Dan Heath. So Made to Stick was another one. And
here's an outlier.
That one helped me with my preaching too, because it was about sticky statements.
Yeah.
So that was a good one.
Along the lines of vlogging and whatnot, here's an outlier for you. Vlog Like a Boss by Amy Schmidauer. She's got some nuggets in there. She recorded it in a closet, in her own closet, her bedroom closet. Just kind of shows you the whole, you got it, yeah. How to kill it doing something or another. Anyway, you have the physical copy? I'm proud of you. Look at you.
I've got the digital copy too.
That was a good one. I was surprised by that one.
Yeah, that was one. There are very few books that I will buy the physical copy as well. I usually go with the audio copy, and it's when it's so good in audio that I need to start writing notes and highlighting and underlining that then I need the physical, so I'll go buy it as well. Yep. And I figure if it's a book that's given me that much value, I'm going to support the people that made it. So, yeah.
It's really good.
Okay, Dean Lentini saying, yes, I'm not alone. I have so many loose end videos that I couldn't find a way to make a full story because something got in the way of my original idea.
Yes, sir.
Just end it. And it honestly, I think it could be as simple as you do the video where you were kind of documenting, cut away to a narration standpoint where you're setting in studio, office, bedroom, wherever. I think it would be cool for a lot of us to do a similar thing like Casey does, where he's got that one section, and this is where I'm just talking to you. We're sitting down and having a conversation, like in his, studio. And it's like every time he would walk into the studio, you knew he was going to sit down, he was going to look you in the eye, he was going to talk to you, he might reach up and spin the lens.
Turn the deal.
Yeah. So to find some type of a setting like that is kind of a typical go-to place, and then you narrate and say, okay, so that's the end for now.
That could even be your shtick, Dean.
Yeah,
like
just be like,
forgot to end it again, or didn't catch the rest of it. I may even steal that.
You know what I was thinking? To be continued. Then it's just like, but how many TV shows? It's like I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, it's getting to the top of the hour. They've only got like 2 minutes to wrap this up.
They're going to leave
and
it.
It's not wrapping up. And then all of a sudden, it's a black screen and it says, to be continued. It's like, you did it to me again. But I'm going to come back next week because I love it. So I think that's where we can just take it easy on ourselves and say, we're just putting out this content. We're putting out as much as we can, as often as we can. And if it doesn't quite turn out the way that we wanted it to, well, maybe it will next time. But I think by at least going through the process of record, edit, publish, record, edit, publish, record, edit, publish, I think it's similar to a sermon where it's, prepare, preach, prepare, preach. The more we do it, the easier it gets, the better we get at it. My 2 cents. Vaughn was laughing out loud at Genevieve, saying, I often say that I'm talking to myself when preaching every single time.
Yeah.
Mom is here.
Isn't it the best when, yeah, you go, yeah. Maybe, maybe not, Dustin. I'm hanging in there for you if he's in here.
No, I am. I am. That's just all there is to it. I mean, I got this when I was out to dinner with her and the rest of the family. Now, she would like to say that her favorite is whoever she's with at the time.
Oh, mercy,
I just
Dad.
happen to spend more time with her, so I'm her favorite more often, which means I'm her favorite.
He's making a good case.
Yep.
He's got the gift of gab. I don't know.
Tectonic says, hello, good to see you. Tim, Lee, both Casey and Van wanted to make films. Casey got to a point where he settled into making vlogs, and then 368 was him trying to be a filmmaker again. I wouldn't call what Van is doing vlogging. Yeah, so, there's an argument that could be made, and this comes down to the age-old debate and question we have. What is a vlog? And I often revert back to the literal definition of it. Vlog is a video blog. Blog is a web log. So a vlog is a video web log. And what is a log? Well, Star Trek taught us what that was. The captain's log, whatever star date number it was. And all you're doing is
Sometimes
giving a recap
supplemental.
of that day that you had. Yes, sometimes supplemental captain's logs. But that would be my thing. So based on that definition, I could see what Van is doing being a vlog, but not a Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon, Matty Hapoya style of vlog.
Yep.
Because he's not out and about and he's not moving and showing you that journey, but he is showing you what he's wanting to talk about. So
Still good.
it could be, but I do agree with what you're saying. Casey did settle in to where he was making vlogs, and he even saw even those vlogs as just being another type of filmmaking. Each one was an individual film. But 368, that era, it was definitely more of a polished stuff. And now it's like when he uploads now, it's back to the original style where it's just it's a vlog.
So to this, the whole documenting thing, sorry, and books that we're recommending just hit me. Have you guys seen Free Burma Rangers? Has anybody seen that? Whoa. Tread lightly. It's an Amazon film. It's a missionary couple. He's a former ranger, and use your discernment as you watch it, depending upon your background. But my word, they documented 20 plus years, 24 years of living with Burmese people. They end up going into Iraq in different scenarios, but they're just loving on people in war-torn areas. And the people who are filming this whole documentary, they're doing it on a camcorder with no experience besides knowing how to turn on the record button. And that's their testimony. They eventually learn and grow and make and repeat and that sort of thing. Yeah. And they're known for getting news footage out, to the world. What's actually going on in Burma. They're the ones behind the scenes tactically documenting the war scenes. But it's just fascinating along those lines of they ended up taking all of these little clips, these little snippets, these Casey style, we're just in it, this is what's really going on, and they made it into this documentary, this more Van style narration, clips that flashback. It's fantastic. So anyway, movie to watch, encapsulating both styles, Casey and Van, showing you that it doesn't matter.
Nice.
But it's definitely a little mixture of two. Free Burma Rangers for anybody who wants to check that out.
Yeah. Genevieve talking about me kind of messing with this office. She says, great. That means Josh gets more power tools. See, this can happen. I can set out
Genevieve because she's the home decorator, right?
I can set out to redo this studio, and it may turn into a video about me going to the emergency room. I mean, who knows?
It could end up being a tool review channel.
Yeah. Now I'm just waiting for Josh to call his stuff beautiful videos. If I could do a good Trump voice, I would throw that in there, but I just can't. Yes, and Diana laughing. It's hilarious. Ahmad, hello, sir. I'm from Bangladesh. Thank you for watching. Good to have you here. Henry in the house, and what's up, boys? Glad to see you.
What's up, Henry?
Tim, Josh coming in hot with the super nerdy definition of vlog, and I'm here for it. Live long and prosper. Yeah.
Yes.
So, hilarious. Now, I heard so many people talking about vlogs. What is a vlog? And all of these videos, and people kept asking me, what's a vlog? What's a vlog? And others were saying, oh, so it's a blog? And I'm like, no, it's not a blog. It's a vlog. And then all of a sudden I started looking into it. What is a vlog? And then when I found it, I was like, oh, yeah, I guess technically a vlog is a blog. So, all right.
Headsets down, everyone. We're ready.
John Hayes, doesn't she do the renovations around here, though? Yes. Yes. It is not Josh the Toolman Verwers.
John made it, though. Welcome, John.
John made it. And we were just talking about you, Pastor Joshua, late to the party, but hey, we were talking about how I would not have recommended the Switch Pod for you. I would have recommended the Mantis Pod until I saw that you needed it like next week, and then I recommend the Switch Pod. I have the Switch Pod. I love the Switch Pod. The only thing I wish the Switch Pod would do is change positions a little bit. Like, not to the extent of the Joby Gorilla Pod where you can never get it back in its original position, but changed a little bit. And I would like to be able to hang it on something. And I kept thinking for the longest time, why is nobody doing this? Like, I want to see the Joby Gorilla Pod and the Switch Pod make a baby.
Yep.
And I want that baby. And that baby is going to hold my cameras. And then all of a sudden, PGY Tech comes out with the Mantis Pod and it sticks like $100 price tag on it. And I'm like, shh.
Well, wasn't the Switch Pod... wasn't the Switch Pod in its infancy, wasn't it like 120 or something like that? When it was
I think it was probably about the same price. I got in on the first round of Kickstarters. Like, as soon as I saw it, I jumped on, and that was when they were giving a deal. And I think I got mine for, I want to say, like $60 or something like that.
Oh, nice.
But it was that, because they do rounds in Kickstarter where the first so many will get it at this price, and then it goes to this price, and then it goes to this price, and that very first round is where I got it. So it was like the day that it released, I had a reminder set on my phone, go and get this. And I haven't sat by like my phone trying to get something that quick since I think I was in high school trying to win like a giveaway on the local radio station. So anyhow, but yeah, and he says, I hear you. That's why I haven't gotten it yet. I finally got tired of fighting my Gorilla Pod.
Struggle's real.
I get you. Dean saying, guys, I think the laundry is multiplying. You know what? You should have been documenting this the whole time. I'm setting out to do the laundry today, and you know what happened? The vlog pastors hopped on, and all of a sudden, my laundry multiplied. It just kept growing because I couldn't actually fold the laundry. I just had to listen, and my hands were busy typing and commenting. Such is life. Yeah.
Pull the Mark Rober thing where you're not going to touch your face because germs. Did you ever see that episode, Mark Rober?
No.
Mark Rober does all the...
I know who he is.
Okay. So he was...
Squirrel Maze.
Yeah, he was doing the whole COVID effectiveness of masks, that type of thing, and he was talking about how many times you touch your face. And he sits down and he records himself, like working on a computer, and he gets done 20 minutes, something like that. And he says, "Okay, I've been recording for 20 minutes, and I haven't touched my face at all. But we need to go back and review the tape because maybe it's subconscious." And he's like, he's got it all over his face, all the dye and stuff. It's all over his face. And he goes back and watches it, and it's like he's picking his nose, he's scratching his eye. And we just do it subconsciously. So maybe, Dean, if you like filmed what actually happened over the course of this past hour, you might find out that you were messaging and watching the vlog pastors hang.
Yep. It
Or
probably
maybe
would.
it multiplied. Who knows?
Yeah, or maybe, you're
That would be cool.
kind of like our house and it just multiplies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we have teenage girls that feel the need to wear 4 outfits in one day. It's not dirty. Hang it back up. You hear me? Go hang it up.
Laughing
I don't
with
wanna
you,
do the
girls.
laundry anymore. So, yep. But hey, anything else you want to chat about today?
I don't think so.
Anything else you guys want to chat about today? We typically have no idea what we're doing. I will give you guys a little bit of a heads up just because I like the accountability. And it's fun for me to say stuff that I'm going to do and then never do it. And then
Yes.
you guys, message me
Yes, it is
like
so much fun.
6
Hold
weeks
on.
later and you're like, hey, why didn't you do this?
Ready.
So this has been kind of an ongoing thing, no longer driving bus, really trying to make a valid effort at the whole YouTube and
Posted schedule.
digital ministry stuff really kind of ramping up to the point that it will replace that income source for me. In order for this to happen, that means I've got to get more focused.
Focused.
So here's kind of where my current focus is going to be. My plan is within my plan is by August 1st, I will have a course live and ready to go on taking a sermon and multiplying that into social media content and what that process looks like.
What?
So I will have
August.
a course by August 1st. I about said in the next 30 days. And then I was like, brr. So that will be the big plan. Here on the YouTube channel, the number one thing you're going to see coming out is going to be vlog. Jarrod and I are going to still be talking about this and the live stream and what we're doing with this. I think we both want it to continue, but trying to figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to do that. It's kind of been an ongoing conversation we've had for almost 50 episodes now. So we'll continue to have that conversation, but you'll see vlogs, lots of vlogs. The digital ministry podcast is going to be going away from this channel. I haven't done it in a few weeks. Doing multiple live streams was a bad idea for me. So what that's going to do is that's going to actually be dedicated as a podcast. I will still record a video version of that, and that video version will be behind the paywall of my Buy Me a Coffee members, where they'll have access to the video version. Everybody else will get access to the audio-only version. And that's because I can start to monetize that stuff through podcast a little bit easier than just over here on YouTube. So if I'm going to monetize some of that knowledge, well, that is going to be behind Buy Me a Coffee. So, which, by the way, if you guys are interested in that, I got a link right here, buymeacoffee.com/Joshua Verwers. And if you happen to do that
Everybody
during the show, whether you just buy me a single coffee or you join as a member, you get a little pop-up that hits about right here, and then all of a sudden it activates.
I'm looking at you, Dean. Calm down.
Cherub.
Calm down. Nobody. Dustin's not on the stream.
I've got to
Deb
double
needs
check,
to
although
chill.
I do need to make sure, just to make sure that, because sometimes this doesn't show me the way that it wants to. I'm just double checking.
Come on, team.
Just
we made it through a
double-checking.
whole
Okay, all right.
episode.
There's not.
gonna log
so
it.
You're good. You're good so far.
No heroes here at the end, okay? To bail
But,
Josh out. Let's
and then Let's see. There was something else that I got to look back through my notes. Diana pulls stuff out on me. Any idea on price? And I'm assuming this is going to be for the course. I have not come down on a price yet. Part of that's going to be really dependent on how much goes in there. And that's where it's also going to be a case of looking at the time, like how long it's going to take, is because I don't know how much is going in there. And what I may actually do is offer that at a couple different price points. So there will be the course, and then there will be a course with a bunch of bonuses. So essentially what I'm trying to do, and this is something that I've taken a bunch of courses on how to create courses, and I don't like any of them because the model that they put out there, it works. It doesn't work for me. So I'm resorting back to what I know from our time as marriage ministry, because those marriage seminars were essentially courses that we built. And what I did there was, here's the problem that I've faced. Here's the solution that I have found. Let me share this solution in a way that is easy to explain for people to understand. So that's what I'm going to be doing with this. It's like most ministers that are out there, they struggle with how to make content and how do you make all of this content. And when I've went gangbusters on this before, it's been like that, where I've dropped dozens of pieces of content across the socials. And I don't know how many conversations I had, people asking, how are you doing this all? How do you make that much content and still able to do this, that, and the other thing? So it's doing that. So how
Plus,
do I know Jarrod?
We all benefit. Don't read it. It's hilarious.
How did Jarrod know I was typing? I do it after the show.
Dean. No, we're all going to benefit from this experience. I know it's going to be behind a paywall, whatever. It's going to be worth it. I can already tell you from the get. Plus, anytime Joshua deep dives into something like this, where he sets a goal and he jumps into the minutia of it, there's a system that's being built that is just going to benefit everybody. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I'm able to then share with that. And that's the stuff, like I like the kind of the Sean Cannell method of doing this, where he talks about how he does everything. And you can find all that information for free, or you can find it in a nice, neat package, and that's going to cost you something.
Yes.
And that's the thing that going through and doing this, there will be at least two tiers. You're definitely going to have the course price, and then you'll have the free price. And the free price will basically be me doing a vlog here and there where I talk about how I did this or how I did that. However, it could be next year at this time before all of that drips out slowly for free.
Yeah.
Whereas the others, there will also be a bonus pricing for the Buy Me a Coffee members. They're already getting discounts on other stuff that I've done. So that will be one of those that those monthly members are going to be able to get a little extra bonus on that course.
There's just something to it, man, because I've gone and I've seen people's courses, and you're like, I don't know whether it's worth the money or maybe whatever it is that you're creating for yourself. I don't know if it's worth the investment there, or maybe it is. I just don't have the money at the time. Let me tell you something. We've been offline, just you and I sharing screens together, and I may be working through something, asking some questions or whatever. We're just chatting about how to make a timeline go, and you will bring something in that you've pre-made and stick it on the top, and something that who is it? Who is it?
That was Genevieve. And Dean established last week that does count.
You're dead to me, Genevieve. You're dead to me. Count it. Fine. It counts. Even though it's inside the family, even though you're one flesh, whatever. Yep. Count it. We did not make it another. Wait. Finances are separated, or finances are together?
They're together.
Nah, it's one flesh. Does not count. I say we made it one live stream right there. Anywho,
but the two have become one, so there's still two.
One
but
flesh.
There's one. This is a mystery between Christ and the church.
All right, but whenever you plug in the thing that you're working on, we all benefit. It's just worth
John
it.
says he doesn't count mom either, though, so we can't count what John counts. He doesn't count Genevieve. He doesn't count mom, so John's count doesn't count.
I'm with John.
Of course you're with John.
I'm with
because
John.
I've seen the shenanigans you guys are trying to come up with.
Oh, it's already done. Just need to pull the trigger. So
yeah.
it doesn't count.
Yeah.
It doesn't count. I think we made it one whole live stream. Yeah.
But yes, to your credit, and this is where I've kind of held off on making a course for a while, because it's like it's like with ministry, where I had a hard time for the longest time charging for what I'm doing. It's like, freely you've received, freely you shall give. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Then I sit there and I wrestle with, well, those who labor in the preaching and teaching, floating coffee head. And Dean Lentini has become a member. Dean, good to have you. Glad to see you there. Thanks
Hello,
for
Dean.
thanks for not waiting until after the stream for
How do you
Jarrod.
kick people out of the stream?
I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. That's a lie.
Dean, that one counts. That's for real. I have to admit, that one counts.
That one does count.
That one counts.
That's
Counts as a
good.
strike against our friendship is what it
Dean's
counts.
like, let the floodgates open. Yes, and for those that didn't know, every time somebody buys me a coffee, that's what happens. You get the floating naked baby angel Jarrod that floats
Dean
across
did
the
me
screen.
dirty. Ah, gosh.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. So yes, there's that whole concept of, freely you've received, freely you've given, but those who labor in preaching and teaching the word, they're worthy of double honor, really. And you're also not to muzzle the ox while they're treading out the grain, and all of those scriptures that we know. And what I found over my course of ministry is that more people who receive stuff free don't value it than those who do value it. And then those who are willing to pay and put a little skin in the game, so to speak, they value it even more. Now, you're always going to get those people that will value it whether it was free or whether it was given, because they have that heart and that attitude that they will do it. So that's where it's kind of been wrestling back and forth. But then I saw, especially when it came to the marriage ministry, when I would do some one-on-one stuff, Genevieve and I meeting with couples and trying to help them through these things. We were teaching them, taking them through the exact same process that we then wound up doing with the marriage seminars, only this was free. And many of them were not taking it. We're not using it. We're not implementing it. And if you don't do the work, it doesn't do you any good. Versus once we went to the marriage ministry and people are now paying for that same type of service and knowledge, all of a sudden they're doing the work and they're finding better results. Mm-hmm. And so that's where it's like, I'm okay now doing this. And it's just like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to just put it out there. And to go to kind of like Henry's question, how will you plan the digital ministry? Part of it is going to be, I've got to look at it from a case of both a calling and a profession. It's something that has to be able to generate income. It's got to be able to support itself. It's not like down at the church where you're taking in just offerings. Yes, this will even have offerings. The buy me a coffee, if people just buy one-off coffees, that's essentially an offering. Yeah, I put a $5 limit on it, but that's the way it's going to be. And then you've got those that they want it to, hey, we want to do this on a regular basis. And then those that will purchase something a little bit more. It's like you could come to church and you could just listen to me read the Bible to you, or you could go out and buy your own Bible. And then you can read it whenever you want. And that's kind of where a lot of the coursework is going to be. It's like, hey, you just want to buy this. I'm going to give you the tools to actually do what I've done. And step by step, here's how you do it. Here's the beginning, here's the end, and here's the whole middle through it. And then not only on top of that, I'm actually planning on with that having some bonuses. So what I would even like to do, and I'm not quite sure how this is going to pan out, so you guys can ask me in future date, did it actually work? I also want to take a sermon with a whole sermon outline and then be able to draw. Here is the message. Here's how I would structure this message, how you could structure the message. Here's how you personalize it and make it unique in your own. And then here is how you pull each of these parts out and where you would then share it and send it elsewhere to make all that content. So it's not just this one sermon, but now you've got 50 pieces of content that roll out through the week. So that's going to be a lot of that back end work that is just a little tricky. And I don't know how that's going to pan out. I don't know how long it's going to take me to do that. And it's also been lots of praying. All right, God, give me a message that will work not only for me and for this, but for any other pastor who wants to buy it and have, here's a sermon outline that they could use as a blueprint to go down. Whether they use that or not, that doesn't matter, but at least you've got it so you can see how it does. And then that's me also preaching that message and pointing, here's what I did. So tricky. How else will I plan on doing the digital ministry? I am going to go back to doing shorts, the little TikTok and Instagram videos. They're not going to be on YouTube, but they're going to be like the Bible study type stuff, the little daily Bible verses. That's all going to live on Instagram and on TikTok. I found the audience I have on those platforms, they like it on those platforms. YouTube, I don't think likes it. Or maybe the audience that I've got on YouTube didn't like it as much on YouTube. They like it on Instagram. They like it on TikTok. So I've got to do some of that. And I'm sure the more content I put out, the more I'm going to get people asking me, how are you doing this? And each of that will lead into either more members, because as you've seen, for those members on Buy Me a Coffee, I am sharing some of this back end stuff on how I'm doing it before I'm even doing it and as I'm going through it, when it's completely unpolished. And then it'll also lead to eventually more coursework and stuff like that. So doing what I'm doing and then trying to do some more stuff. If that makes sense. Hopefully that answers his question. Jarrod?
It's a lot. You're doing a lot, man.
I'm doing, and I do have a little bit of extra time every day to do some of this stuff.
There we go.
And that's where it's like, while I've got it, I'm going to use it, especially while I got this summer, and it's going to be really nice to get out there and, move around and do stuff. But we've also got a bunch of stuff with the family that has to fall in there somehow. Which now is the perfect time to be doing this, because then I kind of eliminate all of the other excuses of other people trying to do what I'm doing. Whoa, but I got a family to think about. Hello? But we've got vacations and different activities.
Yeah.
Hello? But I still got a church. Hello? So, anyhow, that's kind of a thinking process right now.
Awesome.
John agrees that Dean does count.
Yeah, Dean counts. Dean counts.
You said it hurt.
Hurt me deep, Dean.
So John
deep,
says,
brother.
YouTube audience will stick around for a 2-hour live stream, though. And this is true.
That's so true.
You guys will.
Are awesome.
You guys are faithful for that. And I don't know. I've not actually done any live streaming on Instagram. I take that back. I did one small live stream on Instagram. It was when I was doing some prayer walking that I didn't actually follow through with. But I haven't done it on TikTok. I don't know how that would respond. I also kind of want to leave some of the content on certain platforms, platform specific and kind of special. Because it's just recognizing that audience and that it performs better for certain audiences. So I don't know. Live streams are definitely going to stay on YouTube though. But I don't know. We're figuring it out.
Yeah.
We're kind of rolling with stuff.
We are. I like it.
I got a room to destroy and a vlog to make.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. So, hey, I think that's it, unless you got anything else, Jarrod,
Nope.
that you want to throw in here? No?
No.
All right. We'll do some after stream chit chat, and I got a couple other thoughts I want to share with you that everybody in the chat does not get privy to until we figure things out.
Except for Dean, because he bought you a coffee. He's savage.
It's true.
We'll see in a minute, Dean.
So, John says, okay, you said every excuse I use. And you know how I am able to say these excuses? Because I've made them all.
Yep. Every last one.
Made them all. All right. Anywho, we're out of here. Till next time, stay blessed. Enjoy God's best. Have a fantabulous week.